When we first transition over to the decluttered and minimalist style lifestyle, we turn to our immediate surroundings and clean up our physical environment. But we forget about our digital lifestyle, our phones and our computers. So I thought I'd share with you today how I've cleaned up and decluttered my phone so that it's as productive and easy to use as it possibly could be, so that it doesn't distract too much from my daily life. So let's take a look at my phone.
Okay, so there are a few things you may notice right off the bat. First being my beautifully painted nails, second, the crack at the top of my display, and third, this odd layout that I've got going on the home screens of my phone. So to explain my nails, I'm not. Secondly, to explain the crack at the top of the screen and why it's still there, it doesn't affect the functionality of the phone whatsoever, and as I've said in previous minimalist videos that I've uploaded on this channel, I have no need for the newest iPhones that toast your bread and pick up your kids from school. All I needed to do is to be able to run the apps that I use at a relatively fast pace without lagging, and to have a somewhat stable battery life. And this seems to last me throughout the day. As you can see, it's around 10 PM and I'm on 16%. So we're doing great. Now to explain this odd layout that I've got going on, I first have to show you what's going on behind the scenes. So as you can see, I've got a very black wallpaper, and that is because I'm hiding some invisible icons. So as you would usually rearrange the layout of your home screen, you can long press on one of the icons on your screen and click Edit Home Screen. And as you can see, these invisible icons show up all along the display. Now I will show you how to do this towards the end of the video, but for now I'm going to show you some of the functionality that I've set up on my phone to make my phone as productive and easy to use as I possibly can. So all of my apps are in the bottom right hand side of my display so that I can reach them easily with my thumb. I have relatively small hands, I would say, and reaching to the top of my display is quite difficult sometimes, so I've moved everything to the bottom right hand side so I can use everything with a single hand. Secondly, I have my dock with the two main apps that I use mostly on a day-to-day basis. First being Spotify, because I listen to a lot of music, and second being WhatsApp, because that is my messaging app of choice. One very interesting thing I've done is set the home button triple click to making my display black and white or grayscale. And this helps a lot on a daily basis when you don't want to get distracted by all the colorful, shiny apps that are happening on your phone. And it really keeps you away from anything that sort of distracts you. The iPhone is designed in a way, or should I say the apps are designed in a way to grab your attention and get you to click on them. So by making your phone grayscale, it makes you less inclined to open random apps throughout the day. But for the rest of this video, let's go back to color so that you don't get too bored. I do have some text on the background, which is something that I'd like to work on, and that is focus. So every week or every month, I will select a different text or phrase that I'm focusing on for that month and put it as my wallpaper. I've aligned it perfectly so that it fits between the invisible icons and the actual icons on the phone and doesn't obstruct any of the icons or get covered up by the text. If you'd like to download this wallpaper or some others, there's a link in the description of this video. Next, if I swipe left to the widget page, you'll notice that I've removed all the distracting widgets that are usually here, like stocks and weather and a bunch of other random stuff, and I only have my batteries widget. This is really helpful so that I know when my AirPods are charged or when my phone is running low, like right now. But we'll make it through this video. You'll also notice that if I swipe back to the home screen and swipe down, no apps show up here, and that is because I've turned off Siri Suggestions. So by hiding apps in folders, as you can see that I've done here, often we end up searching for apps that we use regularly like Instagram or Facebook or whatever app you're trying to avoid, and they end up showing as Siri Suggestions. So I've turned that off. The easiest way to do that is to open up Settings, search for Siri Suggestions, and turn it off. Now speaking about the folders that I've got going on, I don't really name them conventional names. I use little emojis because I feel that it's faster for my brain to associate what that folder is about when there's an image or an icon on there, the same reason that you click on apps because of the color of the icon and not the text below it. Like you can clearly see that's a clock before you read the word clock. So my photo album, as you can see right here, is laid out with all the apps that I use to edit my photos and take photos, everything within thumb's reach, and the frequency by which I use those apps. So my camera app is used the most, so it's the closest to my thumb when I'm holding my phone. Then I have Lightroom, Snapseed, Premiere Rush, Instagram, and a bunch of other apps that I use to edit some photos and videos, which I'll speak about later. And as you can see, I've got Google Photos here, which has replaced my Photos app purely based on the ability to upload as many photos as I like for free at a reduced file size, which I don't really mind. I don't need the highest quality photos uploaded to the cloud, but it does save a lot of space on my iPhone without losing any quality, really. Then I have some apps like my clock and Safari. I do use the internet a lot, and I use my clock to set reminders on a daily basis. As you can see, I have some birthdays set here, some calls set, depending on what I want to do. I don't really use the reminders app. These alarms go off no matter what, so they work perfectly for me. I also use Notion as a note-taking and business managing app. It's a really, really cool app, which I will make a full video on how I use Notion to run my business. On the next screen, I have notes and settings. As I said, I do use notes occasionally, not as much as Notion. Settings, we all know what that is. Then I have 4 little folders here for a few different categories. First being my email, second money, which is my finance apps, third being travel, fourth utilities. My business apps are mainly my email and my YouTube apps, as well as my messages, FaceTime and phone. I don't really call anyone ever, and I hardly ever use the messages app. As I've said, I use WhatsApp as my messaging app of choice. In my finance folder, I have some apps like PayPal and invoicing apps, some banking apps, and other apps that I use to make money online and manage my investments. Under travel, these are simple travel apps that I keep on my phone. I really don't see any need in deleting them. I do travel a lot, obviously not during the current time, but when I do travel, I like to collect points and manage all of my traveling points and apps in one spot. Under utilities, these are just random things that I've used on my phone that I don't use all the time, but I do use occasionally, and they're easy enough to search for when I do need them. Then on my third page, I've got Noodles, which are food apps that I do use a lot. Then I have Lab, which I won't open right now. Then we have the Lab, which has a little test tube on it. These are apps that I'm working on right now that I'm building with my team. I won't really open that just yet. These are currently apps that are in development, so I won't show those to you at this very second, but keep a lookout in the future for when they do arrive. And then I have a little gift folder, which just has some random extra apps that I don't use too often and are easy enough to search for when I do need them. You'll notice that the App Store has a badge on it. None of the other apps on my phone have those badges, except obviously in the lab where we're working on some apps. I have turned badges off for all of the apps because I just find them to be incredibly distracting, and when a lot of your apps have those badges on them, you sort of forget about them entirely and don't look at them. So why have them turned on in the first place? I also do have one saving grace that I turn on often that saves me from notifications. I don't turn my notifications off entirely. I simply use the little do not disturb icon. So from around 7 a.m. to around 10 p.m. I'll keep that do not disturb icon turned on, and then for an hour at night I'll go through all of my notifications that show up on my phone, respond to them, respond to text messages, Instagram DMs and Facebook messages, and then I will turn it on again and go to bed, or put my phone in airplane mode as it is right now. That way you can batch all of your notifications that you get throughout the day into one time frame so that they don't bother you throughout the day. It saves a lot of time and effort and doesn't distract you while you're getting your most important work done. Now let me explain how you get these invisible icons. So you can go to Safari. I will copy this link and paste it in the description of this video for you to use as well. You have to go to this blog post, click the little share icon at the bottom of your screen, click add to home screen. Don't change the name of it as there is an invisible character there already, and click add. There it is right there, and you can move it around however you like to rearrange the icons on your screen, sort of like a game of Tetris.
So that's how I've decluttered my phone. If you guys like another video on how I've decluttered and minimized, for the lack of a better word, my computer and digital spaces on that side of things, let me know down in the comments below. Or if you've got any suggestions of your own, let me know. I really do appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I upload every single week. And as always, I shall see you in the next video. Cheers.